From the Louisiana Superdome, it's the 5A LHSAA state championship between the 13-1 Neville Tigers and the 11-3 Hahnville Tigers. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Gerald Duhan along with Renee Nato, and tonight it's a clash of 5A Titans. Renee, a team in the Hahnville Tigers who's playing very good ball now around playoff time, and one of the reasons is Kendall Joseph, the outstanding Tiger tailback.
Number 2, he's a running back, possesses 4.6 speed, nearly 1,700 yards rushing, 23 touchdowns on the ground, 4 more on the air, 27 touchdowns he's got, and he is a major college prospect.
And for the Neville Tigers, they bring down a young man named Roderick Brownton, a tight end prospect. He'll be playing ball for somebody next year.
6'3", 250 pounds. He's got 46 catches, 800 yards, 6 of those catches going for touchdowns, and he is a major college prospect as well. You see number 82 with his hands on the ball quite a bit for Neville this afternoon.
The Hahnville Tigers, well, they're going to try to defend their state title that they won here last year. First-year head coach Scott Hildebrand against Joe Coates taking over for the longtime coach of the Neville Tigers, Charlie Brown. A couple of new coaches taking over programs that are no stranger to success.
Yeah, and the thing is, both these teams are used to playing before huge audiences, so the Superdome will not act as a problem to either one of these schools. They're used to the loud noise.
The Tigers and the Tigers, the 5A state championship, the crown jewel of the LHSAA Sports Arena. Kickoff just a few moments away. We'll be back with that right after this. Well, checking out state championship lore and the state's highest classification, it's like who's who when you look at these two squads. Hahnville, 5 state titles, Neville with 7 to their credit. Tonight, the Hahnville Tigers will be decked out in their purple jerseys with their gold trousers, gold numerals and gold Hahnville written across the top, their purple helmets with a gold stripe down the middle, and Tigers written in cursive across the helmet. For the Neville Tigers, they're in all white jerseys, white trousers, black numerals, and solid black helmets. The Tigers 12-1 on the season. The Tigers of Neville 12-1. The Tigers of Hahnville 11-3. Neville ranked number 2 in the state of Louisiana. While the Hahnville Tigers, they are unranked in the state classifications. They fell out of the rankings during the season en route to a 3-loss regular season. But Renee, this has been a different team in the playoffs. If we get a good shot of Joe Coates, the head coach of the Neville Tigers, these Hahnville Tigers have been a different squad in these playoffs.
Yes, they really have, and they're playing good at the right time. In fact, to quote Coach Hildebrand, they're playing their best ball right now. And that's most important, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Absolutely.
Can't say that enough. For the Hahnville Tigers, a 44-13 by-district winner over Warren Easton. 17-0 winner over Rummel in the regional round. John Ehret fell victim to Hahnville 30-6 in Natchitoches Central in the semifinal round, 36-17. For the Neville Tigers, their playoff chase goes like this. Number 9 Airline falling in the by-district round. Acadiana falling 28-14 in the regional round. Baton Rouge Catholic, the number 1 team in the state, falling to the Neville Tigers 14-10 in the quarterfinals. And just last week, St. Augustine falling 7-6 to the Neville Tigers on their own home court. That is Hahnville's head coach, Scott Hildebrand, in his first year, Renee, as a head coach. His first year of head coach of the Hahnville Tigers. What a great story he is.
But he's no stranger where he is right now. He's been in coaching 9 years and really done an outstanding job. He played and coached at Ehret. And really, he's coached at Shaw, he's coached at Jesuit High School. He's a former defensive coordinator for Coach Danny Abramowitz at Jesuit back in 1990. He also served in the same capacity with Mark Sanjay, the present coach at Jesuit High School. And Scott was a pretty fair to middle-in linebacker during his playing days at Ehret High School.
That's Joe Coates, a 20-year assistant at Neville under longtime head coach Charlie Brown. Only the 3rd coach in the last 50 years at Neville High School. I'd say that position is rock solid when you get in there and you win. Nice crowd on hand here tonight at the Louisiana Superdome for this 5A state title. The state's highest classification will be decided here over the next 48 minutes. Neville Tigers have been in this Superdome before. The last time against Karen Crow back in 1992. It was a 1-point overtime loss when the Neville field goal kicker missed the extra point in Charlie Brown's last game as a Neville Tiger. Thibodeau was the victor over Neville the previous season in 91. An 18-15 overtime victory for Thibodeau. State titles for Neville, 7, 55, 59, 61, 62, 72, 83, and 84. For the Hahnville Tigers, they were here last year. A 36-28 winner over Ouachita to give them their Class 5A title for the first time. Darren Barbier coaching into that victory. Also, Darren took them here in 1992 when they were in 4A, beating Broadmoor 37-22. State titles for the Hahnville Tigers, 49, 68, 72, 92, and 94. Hahnville Tigers hailing from District 7-5A. They are the co-champions of that district along with Central Lafourche, who went to the playoffs seeded first in the district by virtue of their 27-24 win. For the Neville Tigers, they're coming from District 1, 5A, one of the districts in the state, Renee, that is outstanding when you see Ouachita, Neville, and West Monroe, and it always, Ruston, it always seems like someone from that district is in the mix when it comes here to the Superdome.
Well, it's not a winner in that division. It's a survivor that makes it all the way here. And Neville has stood the test of time. With their record, they have done an outstanding job. And under Coach Coase, he's just kept the beat going and picked up where Coach Brown has left off and really done an outstanding job. And both teams have some offensive weapons. Neville averaging 26.5 points per outing offensively. Their defense only allowing 10.3 points per game. Hahnville with a 23.3 points per outing offensively, and their opponents only getting 12.6 defensively from the Hahnville defense. But both teams are primed and ready for the 5A championship right here, which is moments away from kickoff.
It's all right if you feel, Captain, if it's obvious what you should do, I'll tell you what to do, okay? All right. Now,
point toss down on the field. Let's go.
Okay. So, we call heads, his tails, and his tails. Then you want to defer.
Hahnville will decline winners of the toss. The Tigers will have the option this half.
Doesn't matter.
They'll defer to the second half.
Take this away. Okay, let's get right over that way. Okay, bingo.
And we are almost ready to go in this Tiger against
Hahnville
Tiger.
won the toss and is deferred to the second half. Neville, see. All right, let's have a good ball.
Let's play football. Nice contingent of fans down from Monroe. Of course, a short trip from Boutte and Hahnville right across the 610, staking your way through Kenner and Metairie and here to the Louisiana Superdome. Hahnville fans certainly know how to get here. Nice panoramic view of the Superdome, one of the outstanding facilities in North America. 20 years old this year for this 15th Superdome Classic. The average Classic crowd, 35,000. Will be certainly close, if not exceeding that, this campaign. Always a popular venue for fans of high school athletics. Good shot of Scott Hildebrand. 11-3 in his first year coaching the Hahnville Tigers.
And Scott's no stranger, as I said. He's played as an assistant coach. He's coaching as an assistant coach under some great coaches, Danny Abramowitz and company, Billy North, and he's been in big games, and there's none bigger than the one he's involved in right here. Hahnville Tigers and the Neville Tigers for the 5A state championship.
Waylon Guidry ready to kick off. It's a squib kick, and it's a loose ball around the 42-yard line. Let's see who comes up with it. Neville Tigers retain possession. Number 51 able to come up with it. Let's check the Neville offense. Roderick Broughton, the fantastic tight end we talked about. Jesse Merrills, Joaquin Henderson, Heath Williams, Don Abney, Carlton Reed, Terrence Danzy, Miguel Conway, Adrian Butler, Jeff Laudenheimer, and Derek Dyer is your quarterback. Credit Will Shelby with coming up with that loose ball for Neville. First down play for Neville goes to outstanding tailback Adrian Butler.
And Butler's got some weapons. He's a 4A guy. He's really he can break the initial tackle if you hit him.
Hahnville's defense, Vernon Robisky, Robert Thomasy, Ian Pierre, and Derek Shropshire across the front. Chris Pierre, Jeff Quo, Randall Clark, Jimbo Roberts, your backers. Second down and 5. Pitch out Butler, right-hand side. Will crack the 50 and get dropped just short of a first down marker. Flag will come out. Let's check the rest of the Hahnville defense. Dominic Brown, we'll hear a lot about him tonight. And Earl Williams, your 2 cornerbacks.
Penalty will be assessed against Hahnville. There's a switch right there. In fact, Vernon Robisky goes to defensive end, and Robert Thomasy comes to defensive tackle. So that's a bit of a switch. That's a defensive adjustment that the Hahnville Tiger defense has made for this game. And you got a good shot right here of Adrian Butler carrying the mail, all 5'11", 200 pounds of him, and maybe a face mask right here.
We have a face mask foul on the defense. First down.
And that might be called on Jimbo Roberts, right outside linebacker who may have had a handful of Adrian's face mask.
That's Enos Durbon. He's the referee. Charles Burton, our umpire. Line judge, John Pennerin. Kirk Billy Doe is your field judge. We'll check the rest of them in just a moment. Derek Dyer hustled in the backfield. Ball comes loose. Hahnville recovers. Randall Clark, the weak inside linebacker, coming up with that fumble. Your head's linesman is William Augustin. Carl White, your back judge. George Jones, your clock operator.
And big play for the sophomore Randall Clark. Very physical. And the left-handed quarterback, Derek Dyer, is really hurried. And he's rushed. He's a guy who can kill you with his feet as well. Good runner, but he's hit the backfield, stripped away. That strip was credited to Derek Shropshire, and now Hahnville has first possession at their own 40.
Kendall Harris coming across. 3-yard gain. The Hahnville offense, your tight end, an outstanding one. Mike Joyce, Eric Salmon, left tackle, Greg Meyer, Bradley Gravel, Don Raymond going across the front. Dominic Griffin and Brent Taylor, your wideouts. Waylon Gidry, your quarterback. Kendall Joseph and Kendall Harris, your tailback and fullback. Second down and 6. Gidry barking the signals. No handoff with nowhere to go to Kendall Joseph.
The thing that Neville is going to try to do, you see a good shot right there of Chris Kelly and the defense, the Neville defense. Sutton Robinson, Horsing, McDaniel, the front 4, Alan Kelly, Washington and Stinson, the linebackers, and the defensive backfield, McNeil, Harris, and Trinity Howard. And watch number 32, TJ Howard. He makes a lot of plays. But the thing about the Neville defense is they want to contain Joseph and alter his direction, make him go in a direction he does not want to go, make him stop and change direction. That's the way you stop a good back.
This is Harris on the play. He'll crack the 40 up to the 44-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down. Check that, 4th down and 4. Hahnville will be forced to punt. So each team's had a possession here, and each team has been forced to give the ball up. Neville threw a turnover. Hahnville threw a punt. Waylon Gidry will drop back to his 28. Back deep, Miguel Conway and Derek Harris for Neville. The punt coming down to Harris. He'll reverse his field across the 25, up to the 30, and up to the 31, where he's drilled down there. 1st and 10 for Neville.
Derek Harris, he plays defensive backfield. He's got some shifty moves in the open field. And he's been a big surprise, not only from his defensive backfield spot, but returning punts for the Neville Tigers. Good shot at Coach Coates and his coaching staff.
First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Neville operating with their second offensive possession in this 5A state championship game. Good shot of quarterback Derek Dyer. Hands it off to Jeff Laudenheimer. Out of the veer offense, something new for Neville, Renee, this veer offense they're running tonight.
Well, they mix up the veer with the wing T, and that's something Hahnville hasn't seen very much of, and they employ 3 backs, and you hear a lot about Adrian Butler, Laudenheimer, and of course, Jay Harris. You'll see a little bit more of him. He's a senior speed back with 4.5 speed in the 40. He's number 42. You see a lot of those guys, and number 23, Stinson, as well.
Motion right to left. Handoff, Butler. Big hole across the 50. Down to the 45. Ball comes loose. It's picked up by Hahnville. Coming back the other way. Joaquin Henderson coming up with the loose ball. Picks it up. And Hahnville has their second fumble recovery. Check that. I'm sorry. Vernon Robisky.
Vernon Robisky, peeling back from his defensive end position, is the one who picked up the loose ball. That is the second fumble in their second possession. And Neville can ill afford to turn the ball over to a team such as Hahnville. And that was a good run by Butler, and he was hit and turned it over. And really an outstanding pursuit, peel back, was Robisky. All 280 pounds of him, wrapped his arms around it. Now Hahnville has their second possession of the game.
Toss sweep, left-hand side. Joseph across the 40, up to the 45, up to midfield. He'll be close to a first down.
Kendall Joseph doesn't go down very easily. He's got nearly 1,700 yards, 27 touchdowns on the season, 23 rushing, 4 catching. He picks out his hole following his tailback, Kendall Harris. Hits a crease right here. Good blocking on the outside by Brent Taylor, number 4, the wide receiver. And he doesn't go down easily. After the initial hit, he's usually got an extra spin or 2 move and has a good body lean for a running back.
First and 10. Guidry, unbalanced line to the right, motion left. 4-man Tiger front. 5-step drop, sets up in the pocket, gunning the ball downfield, well overthrown for tailback Joseph, who was releasing out of the secondary, into the secondary. Rodney McNeil, the safety, on the coverage.
McNeil, a big 6'3", 185-pound prospect, and he's getting some looks from some colleges. McNeese is very hot on him. He's probably the best defensive back that's played back there ever. He's got 6 interceptions on the season, and he's very, very aggressive. He makes a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage from his safety spot.
Second and 10. Double wideouts near side. Handoff, fullback Kendall Harris across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. It'll be second down and 7.
You know, so much is being said about Waylon Guidry, about his kicking performance, but he's a pretty fair quarterback as well. He's completed 44% of his passes, only had 3 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, over 1,200 yards passing on the season. And he's a good athlete, but he doesn't allow his kicking abilities to interfere with his quarterback.
Third down and extra. Toss sweep, near hand side. Joseph crushed at the line of scrimmage, still continuing his legs churning. Flag on the play. Initial contact there. Credit to safety Rodney McNeil. Also Boris Allen coming through to make a big stop.
And Boris Allen is number 22. He's the hardest hitter on the Neville defense. Only 5'11", 175, but buddy, he will smack you.
Holding, the preliminary call from Enos Durban, our referee tonight. The referee's coming out of the Lake Charles area. Neville will decline it.
Holding on the offense, penalties declined, 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and 8 for Hahnville from the Neville 48-yard line. And the kicking element could be a key tonight, Renee. An outstanding sophomore kicker in Waylon Guidry. Field goal kicker as well. Guidry stands at his own 37. It's an end-over-end kick. That'll come down to Harris, who will get crushed at about the 16-yard line. Guidry, a junior, not a sophomore. Trying to give him an extra year of school. I don't think he'd appreciate that.
Well, he's a pretty good punter. He's averaging 41 yards per boot, and I tell you what, he's really improved as the season has gone on. His older brother, Quinn Guidry, was an excellent kicker at Hahnville just a couple of years ago. He enrolled, signed a scholarship with Arkansas. He has since left and is enrolled in Nicholls State to play for his former coach, Darren Barbier. But Welling Guidry is not only a good kicker, he's an excellent baseball player. We'll talk about his baseball career a little bit later.
And off to Butler. He'll get wrapped up at the 18 and stop, maybe a gain of 1. We're scoreless here in the Louisiana Superdome. 5:50 left in the first quarter. Each team has had 2 possessions. Neville is on their 3rd, fumbling away their first 2. Hahnville has punted on their first 2 possessions.
Talk about this kid Butler, Gerald. He's got 1,481 yards on the season, 7.8 yards every time he carries the ball to go along with 16 touchdowns. He is an all-district performer and quite a running back for the Neville Tigers.
Play action pass. Toss the ball in a flat, complete on the play and driven out of bounds. Conway on the reception. He'll pick up 4. It'll be 3rd down and some pocket change.
Miguel Conway is a guy who's played nearly every position: quarterback, wingback, tailback, defensive back, wide receiver. You see southpaw. Dyer rolling right, throwing left, and Miguel comes up with a nice catch. That's his 13th catch on the season, and the senior makes an outstanding play. Averages 10.4 yards every time he makes a catch. It's now 3rd and 3 as Neville is in need of a first down in their own territory.
Dyer calling for the ball. First back through is Butler. He's got the first down and more as he crosses the 30 and comes crashing down to the 31. 1st and 10 for the Neville Tigers.
You know, Butler will carry on an average of 25 times a game, so he's pretty durable. And the thing about Butler is, too, not only is he an excellent football player and athlete, good run right here, following his shoulders, squaring his shoulders up and diving for extra yards. He's got a 3.4 GPA, and a lot of Ivy League schools, including Dartmouth, are hotly interested in him.
Dive play to the weak side of the formation. Laudenheimer getting the call. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3 for a 2nd down. Play to be coming up shortly for Joe Coates, the rest of the Neville Tigers.
That Hahnville defense employs that 4-4 defense, 4 down line, 4 linebackers, and I'll tell you what, that is one solid hard defense to play against, because there's no weak spot in the Tiger defense.
Wideouts left and right, back split behind Dyer. He'll put Conway in motion. Butler, big hole up the middle, first down and more up to the 45-yard line. Jimbo Roberts finally trips him up and stops him, but not before Adrian Butler dashes forward from the split veer to pick up a first down. Pickup of 10 on the play.
Just a little misdirection there, and the blockers are blocking down, allowing the hole to open up on the opposite side, and Adrian Butler takes advantage of that and scoots through for a nice gain, a first down at the Neville 45-yard line.
Tigers putting together a drive here. Dyer, quarterback keeper, breaks through 1 tackle and manages to get some positive yardage out of something that did look disastrous. Jeff Quo and Robert Thomasy combining on the stop. Pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6.
The thing that Neville, and you see right here as Derek Dyer rolls left, he will carry the ball as many as 20 times as a quarterback. They run that veer, and he does an expert job of controlling and running that veer. They need to make significant yardage on 1st and 2nd down and not get into a 3rd and long.
Butler coming through with the ball. He'll get down to the 47-yard line and be stopped just short of a first down, which will set up a 3rd down play for the Neville Tigers.
Unless necessity dictates otherwise, Neville won't throw more than 10 times in the game. Most of the time, if they do throw, they'll find number 82, Roderick Brownton, and he has latched on to 46 catches. He's an all-district. He was an all-state wide receiver in 1994, and he should be an all-state tight end in 1995.
Brownton at the tight end on the near side. Butler gets the call, and he'll surge forward for a first down. The chains will move. 1st and 10 for the Neville Tigers. They started this possession all the way back at their 17 some 3+ minutes ago. Clock rolling, 2:48 left in the first quarter. a scoreless battle between the Neville Tigers and the Hahnville Tigers in this 5A state championship game. Wing T look here on this play for Neville, as quarterback Dyer will keep it, coming to the near sidelines, and he's escorted out of bounds after a positive pickup on the play. Chris Pierre escorting him out after a 3-yard gain. And as you mentioned, Renee, he'll carry the ball an awful lot, both in a veer and in a wing T. The quarterback does an awful lot of running. This Neville drive, as we mentioned, started on their own 16. It's already consumed 3:56 off the clock. And we're coming up on play number 10. And they're still 38 yards from the Hahnville end zone.
Derek Dyer's really done an outstanding job. He started the second half of the opening game of the season. In that game, he tossed for 227 yards. The quarterback job has been his ever since.
Toss sweep, right-hand side. Butler, big hole. Crashing inside the 25, down to the 22. And Renee, credit quarterback Dyer with a great block on that play to help spring Butler down the field. Dominic Brown, the outstanding quarterback, makes the stop, but not before he picks up 17 yards and a big Neville first down.
One thing about an option or a veer quarterback is making good decisions, and Dyer makes a great decision here, keeping the ball to the very last instant, and then he pitches right here. But he gets so much attention. In fact, he got a shot from Robert Thomasy and allowed his running back Butler to scoot up for positive yards. It's now 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of Hahnville.
Play action pass. Dyer wanting to throw. The southpaw unleashes, complete. Miguel Conway coming down with the ball. He's drilled out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Pickup of a quick 5, 2nd down and 5.
You hear some other people that they may go to. They don't throw very often. In fact, I'm sure that Brownton has brought so much attention to himself, number 82. He opens up the other receivers, but Danzy and Spivey are other receivers that Dyer likes to throw to as well.
Early motion as Danzy comes out a little bit early out of his stance. This will cost Neville 5. Butler 41 yards on 6 carries thus far early in this ball game. 1:51 left in the first quarter. 0-0 between Neville and Hahnville.
We have a dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the offense. Still 2nd down.
That last play, a little bit, Renee, of a wing T look with a slot back on the right-hand side who came in motion, leaving the split veer behind him. As you can see, Conway in motion. So almost the same play here as Conway's in motion. Butler, big hole, straight up the middle again, down to the 13. He'll be just short of another first down. Donald and Brown making the stop, and they're going right at the teeth, Renee, of that Hahnville defense.
Yeah, they're running straight ahead, running behind the blocking of Abney and Henderson, the guards, and Heath Williams, the center. You see right there, Butler with 7 carries, 48 yards, and that's quite an average when you see he's going between the tackles, and he's running right at the strength of the Hahnville defense. But credit Derek Dyer with really keeping that offense going, making good decisions, making a good pitch, and he himself has carried the ball 3 or 4 times already this early in the game.
Dyer will keep it as he surges forward inside the 10, down to the 9, and on 3rd and less than a yard, it appears he's picked up the first down, and this drive continues for the Neville Tigers. It'll be 1st down and goal.
This is in the red zone now, and this is where Hahnville will have to pin their ears back and really have to come, because you could expect number 30 to get the ball. If not, Derek Dyer needs to be mirrored, because he's dangerous with his hands, with his arm tucked around the ball. He can go left to right, and he's dangerous passing as well.
Churning down towards the 5-yard line is number 33 for the Neville Tigers. That's Sant Sutton, a defensive specialist, coming in and playing a little offense right there.
Yeah, Sutton is a 6'1", 240-pounder. Runs a 4.840. He's an all-district, all-state performer as a defensive end. He don't get many carries. When he does, he tries to make the most of it.
23 seconds left. This could be the last play of the first quarter. Straight dive, first back through. pickup of 1, maybe 2. That's Sutton once again. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line as the first quarter draws to a close. Neville's on an extended drive as they try to put it into the Hahnville end zone. We're through 1 quarter of play. We have no score. Welcome back to the Superdome, the LHSAA High School 5A State Championship. Neville trying to push it into the Hahnville Tiger end zone. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5. Hahnville's shown good defense against the run all year. Renee, this is decision time for Joe Coates. Pass or run?
Well, he's been having success running with Butler, or even some option with Derek Dyer, so I would expect him to go back to the well once again. Derek Dyer, the 6 foot, 180-pound junior, all-district quarterback. His dad played at Neville in the early 70s, so he's got good bloodlines and brought him to the Tiger program.
Full house backfield behind Dyer. He'll roll left, tuck the ball under, run, turn towards the end zone, and he'll fall short. He'll pick up 1. Jeff Quo, the all-district strong side linebacker. The Sammy linebacker making the stop, so it's 4th down.
And Quo makes tackle number 132 on the season. And what a entourage Dyer has going around the left side. He's got Zant Sutton blocking for him, but Quo penetrates the blocking and makes the tackle before he gets to the end zone.
And Neville will go for it on 4th and goal. Hand off to Sutton, through and into the end zone for the touchdown. Zant Sutton on 4th and goal from the 4 scores on the 17th play of Neville's 3rd drive, and the Tigers of Neville jump on top here. The 5A state championship over the Tigers of Hahnville, 6-0 with the extra point to follow.
And he ran behind 2 all-district performers. Zan Sutton himself, an all-state performer. He runs behind left guard Henderson and left tackle Merrills, 2 all-district performers. In fact, Merrills should be all-state. And he puts the first points on the board for the Neville Tigers.
Chris Bond in to attempt the extra point. It is up and good. 7-0. Neville draws first blood in this 5A state final. Hahnville's answer coming up after this. Let's take another look at the Neville touchdown, Renee.
And as Sutton, as he bowls past the defenders, in fact, he just lowers his shoulders and squares his shoulders and breaks the plane behind that blocking up front, the mighty surge of the Neville Tigers on the left side. Extra point was successful. So with 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go before the halftime break, Neville leads 7-0.
17 play, 84-yard drive. Squib kick, picked up at the 15. Williams with the ball. He'll get drilled down just short of the 30-yard line, so out will trot quarterback Waylon Guidry for the Hahnville Tigers, and we'll see what type of offense he can muster.
We look at Dominic Brown. Dominic Brown is thought to be many the top return specialist in the state, and something maybe one of the better ones in the country. He's an all-district performer, and got a host of colleges out on his career.
Backs in an eye behind Guidry. Deep drop, play action pass. Trying to set up the screen, and he has to throw the ball away, and that'll be intentional grounding. Great defensive pressure on that play.
That was great pressure coming from the blind side as the Hahnville Tigers tried to set up a screen pass. You see right here as Waylon Guidry drops back, trying to set up a little screen pass. You see Kendall Joseph, but
that's Trinity Howard.
He rasped. That was Antonio Stinson. Looked like he came rushing in, and was it 23?
Yes, 23. No, 32. You're right. TJ Howard.
We have intentional grounding on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. 2nd down.
So a rush put on, forces into a intentional grounding the ball, and they get penalized, assess yardage, and lose the down. So it's now a second down. They're looking at it. A long calf fair.
A punch. That last Neville drive, recollections of last week's touchdown drive, which went 11 plays and 69 yards for the only score with Neville in their 7-6 semifinal victory over St. Aug. That last drive, 17 plays, 84 yards. Joseph with the call, get across the 10 up to the 11, so it'll be third down and 28. An inauspicious start for Neville on their third offensive possession after 2 punts, trying to answer the Neville touchdown.
Good shot right there. The front 5 of Hahnville Tigers. Raymond, Neville, Boomer, Danford, Meyer, and Zamet. Meyer may be one of the best down linemen around here.
Joseph with the call. He has some running room, but well short of the first down. Chris Kelly making the stop up to the 18. And with a third down and forever in front of him, it'll be fourth down and forever.
See good pulling right here by the guard. You see a good pull right there by Gravel. Allows Kendall Joseph to get outside, and it's Kendall Harris also escorting him along the right side, but far short of a first down as they're looking at 4th and 20.
Harrison Conway back around midfield. Guidry to punt. A high punt that may have been partially deflected. And that ball's marked all the way back to the 22-yard line. A 3-yard statistical kick for Waylon Guidry. That is not what Hahnville needed.
No, that's not what he needed. And right now, Neville still has 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go before the halftime break. And with a 7-0 lead, they have some confidence in their offense. They punched it in last possession, and they're playing with a lot of confidence and momentum offensively right now.
Time for the Hahnville D to step up. First and 10 from the purple Tiger 22. Play action pass. Dyer steps in the pocket. He's hurried out of the pocket. Now he's going to run to the near sidelines and turn the corner. Look at him scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. What an outstanding block. A 22-yard touchdown run. He was wrapped up in the backfield for a sack, and he scores Neville's second touchdown of the evening. Shelton Spivey, an outstanding block as quarterback Dyer scrambled to the near sideline.
And it looks like he was wrapped up in the backfield, as you mentioned just now. Couldn't catch a number. It looks like it might have been Quo. Might have had him wrapped up, and I tell you what, he does have some foot speed. 4.5 in the 40. Got a good block right there, sealed off the outside and allowed Dyer to prance into the end zone. The extra point
is good. Bond's extra point up and in. 14-0, Neville on top. Welcome back. Let's check the replay of the Dyer touchdown run.
And that was a great pursuit by Chris Pierre, 96, not 46, but Dyer with that 4.5 speed in the 40 just simply outruns defensive lineman Robisky and skirts around the outside, aided but that great block by number 21, Shelton Spivey, the wide receiver, senior. And I tell you, great blocking all around. Look, this is good pursuit right here, though. That's Vernon Robisky, 280 pounds, and you bet Dyer does not want him to catch you from behind, but good block right there, good seal block. Had it not been for that block, Dyer would not have made it into the end zone. Extra point was good. 9:25 remain before halftime. Neville with a commanding 14-0 lead.
You know, the wide receivers just don't get enough credit sometimes, Renee, for their blocking down the field, and right there is a perfect illustration of proper technique blocking by a wide receiver of what it can do. Hahnville penalized 15 yards for roughing the kicker on the extra point, which was good. So Justin Yerger will get an opportunity to kick off from the Hahnville 45. And this is an opportunity, if you like, instead of just kicking it into the end zone, to maybe try some type of pooch kick around the 25 or the 20. Give your guys an opportunity to maybe come up with the ball instead of just kicking a touchback at this point.
Yes, Hahnville knows, is very aware of that. And I'm sure they have their good hands people right where they need them.
Yerger's kick is through the uprights into the end zone, and it'll come back to the 20. First and 10 for Hahnville at the 20.
Right now, Hahnville finds themselves in a situation trailing 14-0, and with a lot of time to go here in the second stanza. But Hahnville does have some weapons with quarterback Guidry and Dominic Brown, Brent Taylor, Griffin, good wide receivers, and also Mike Joyce to go along with Kendall Joseph and Kendall Harris.
Double wideouts on the near side. Guidry backs in an eye, strong side will be the near side. That's where Joseph will run. He's stacked up and dropped for a 2-yard loss. Stenson and Worshey making the stop.
You know, the thing is about Neville, they believe that the best athletes ought to be on defense. Defense wins championships. And we mentioned earlier, they must contain Kendall Joseph. And the thing of when you say contain, doesn't mean they have to stop him necessarily every time. They want to alter his direction where he really wants to go and make him change and go in another direction. Make him stop and go, because once you get a running back to slow up or stop to change directions, to pursuit will catch him.
3-step drop, tossing the ball into flat, complete, but immediately wrapped up. Brown has nowhere to go. He may not have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. 8:33 left until halftime with the clock rolling. 14-0 Neville over Hahnville, and the Hahnville offense is just not operating here tonight thus far, Renee. So far, they've punted, and punted on their 3 possessions. This is Hahnville's 4th possession.
And you see Dennis Washington just now made a great stop on Dominic Brown. They think Dennis Washington may be the best athlete to ever come through Neville. That speaks in volumes. 4.4 speed, and I tell you, he's confident. He'll challenge you and step right up in your face and challenge the best, which in this case is Dominic Brown.
3rd down and 8. Guidry out of the shotgun, tossing the ball down the field, complete. Taylor coming up with the reception all the way up at the 44-yard line. A 22-yard reception. Junior split end Brent Taylor, his 7th catch of the season. And that was a big one.
Brent Taylor was a backup quarterback, and since he's arrived, he's now a senior wide receiver, and he's done a good job. He knows how to read a defensive backfield, and he will find the creases. And you see Waylon Guidry took a shot after releasing the ball.
Joseph with the carry across the 45. He'll get up to the 47. It'll be a pickup on the play of 4. 2nd down and 6. McDaniel and Sutton making the stop.
But as we mentioned, Neville employs their best athletes on defense, and they want to make Waylon Guidry pass for Hahnville to win. They feel like if they make him pass more than he wants to, they have a good shot, and they will challenge you. They feel like if Hahnville has to run on a Neville defense, they will have a chance to win this game.
Guidry fakes the toss sweep, sets up in the pocket, gunning the ball deep down the field, intercepted. McNeil coming down with the ball, the safety, he's down right at the 30. An outstanding play by McNeil. He read the quarterback the entire way.
And McNeil.
Sorry, Renee, the ball intended for Dominic Brown on that play.
McNeil with a 6'3" height, Gerald, 185 pounds. He's the best defensive back maybe to come through this area in quite some time. He's got 6 picks on the season, and Waylon Guidry didn't anticipate that 6'3" frame stretching in front of his wide receiver right here. McNeil, boy, what a great interception here. Great athletic ability, really stretched out, gave it up for that interception. The only problem he has is sometimes he wants to hit and make too many tackles near the line of scrimmage.
Handoff, first back through, struggling up to the 35-yard line is Laudenheimer. That's hard running, a gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
Roderick Brownton, right there, number 82. I'm surprised he hasn't caught a pass yet. You'll probably see his name come up pretty soon. He's a leading receiver. You know, he's got 4.55 speed when he's down to his playing weight of 225, 230. He's around 250, 255 right now. A little bigger than they like him to be, but 17.3 yards every time he touches the ball, 46 catches, 6 touchdowns. He also carried the ball 9 times for 80 yards.
Big hole for Butler. Across the 45 up to the 48, and the chains will move, and Neville is winning the battle of the line.
You credit that line up front. They're not very big. Reed, Abney, Williams, Henderson, and Merrill's not very big. Merrill's the biggest at 280, but just a good running ability right here by Butler. 10 carries, 86 yards, and he's fast approaching a century mark with a lot of time left here to go in the second stanza.
5:43, clock rolling until halftime. Neville owning a 14-0 lead over Hahnville. Handoff straight up the middle, nothing doing. Laudenheimer immediately pulled down by Robisky.
As everybody knows, Robisky, his uncle is Terry Robisky, who played for LSU, the Oakland Raiders, Miami Dolphins, now is a coach in the NFL. But he's an all-district performer, 6'1", 280 pounds, a senior, runs a 4.9 40, and he's going to make someone a pretty good defensive tackle at the college level.
2nd and 11 for Neville. Dyer looking to throw deep, and his receiver is wide open, just overthrowing his intended receiver. Donamitri Smith, the tailback, releasing out of the backfield, and it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Smith, only a sophomore, 5'9", 165. He's getting pressure right here as Dyer goes down. He takes a shot from Robert Thomasy, who moves inside to tackle, which moves Werner Robisky out to defensive end. But Robert Thomasy, a good defensive lineman, good pursuit abilities, and he's really done a good job for the Hahnville Tigers inside.
3rd down and 11. Roderick Broughton set up on the left-hand side. Toss sweep right, that's Butler. Across the 45, across the 50, down to the 48, but he's shy of the 1st down. Chris Dino finally making the stop. It'll be 4th down and 4, and Neville will be forced to punt for the first time in this ball game.
Quick pitch right here to Adrian Butler. We told you he'll carry the ball 25, 30 times. He's well on pace for that right now. But you're not going to take him down with an arm tackle. He usually breaks the first wave of tackles when he gets the pitch or gets the ball. And the only problem he has is he runs a little bit too high, Gerald. He's 5'11", 200. They want him to lower that shoulder a little bit more.
Scott Cheek, high kick to Dominic Brown, who fields it at his 8. Coming back the other way, trying to pick up some blocks, and does. He's got some room across the 20. The exciting runner is finally hauled down at the 25-yard line. Jeff Laudenheimer hustling down the field.
And Dominic Brown, what an excitement he is every time he touches the ball. Picks up the alley on the right side, picking up some good blocking. And with that 4.6 speed, he's got the likes of LSU, Tulane, Florida State, Nebraska, Georgia, Colorado, and Notre Dame hot on his trail. He should qualify and should be an excellent athlete, return specialist on the college level. There you see him taking the ball inside his 10-yard line, about the 9, looking for the lane, breaking the initial wave right here, and a good run back for Dominic Brown.
Back to live action as Michael Joyce, the tight end, coming down with the pass from Guidry. He'll pick up on the play of 5 yards. Well, they'll spot it actually closer to a 9-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd down and 1.
He does a curl pattern, and Mike Joyce has become that safety valve receiver for Waylon Guidry. 6'2", 230, a good tight end. Made a lot of good catches this past season. That's his 10th catch of the season, and he's got some state schools after him as well.
Brown motion left to right. Single back behind Guidry. Drops, looks, throws into flat, complete to Brown. Juking at midfield and falling forward to the 49. The chains will move. T.J. Howard making the stop. A 16-yard pickup from Guidry to Brown.
Well, you see, the thing is that Hahnville is now beginning to do just what Neville wants them to do. They want him to pass, but Neville didn't anticipate Waylon Guidry having a good game, which he's having right now, passing the ball. A good shot right there, a good route, a curl route to Dominic Brown. A deep curl, makes the catch, knows what to do with it, but you have to stop Dominic Brown as soon as he makes the catch. You get him started, and look out, he's electricity in the open field.
Slot left, split end, left-hand side. The running play will come left with Joseph. Eludes one tackler in the backfield, churns it upfield, and gains 4. 2nd and 6 for the Hahnville Tigers.
So what's it going to be, Dion?
Another good block right there by Brent Taylor, which enabled Kendall to scoot up the sidelines, looking for a crease right here. Kendall Harris leading the charge. He just eludes the first wave right here, breaks contain. You see right there, a good block by number 4. That was not a clip, it was just a check block, and Kendall Joseph scoots up for a good gain. It's now 2nd and 5 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go before the halftime break.
3-step drop, Guidry firing the ball in and out of the hands of his intended receiver around the 30. Taylor unable to come up with that ball. It'll be 3rd down.
You see Guidry again going to the air a little bit. Tough catch to make as he was diving. He left his feet and he got parallel to the ground and just couldn't come down with the ball.
The ball just resting outside the Neville 45-yard line. Waylon Guidry, good look at him. Trying to pick up the Hahnville 1st down. Hand off to Harris. He's inside the 40, down to the 39. He'll be very close to a 1st down. The Neville coaches say he has it. Boris Allen making the stop. The chains will move. Hahnville.
And for the Hahnville fans, faithful, they need a score before the halftime break. And you can see the stop made by Boris Allen. He's only 175, but he took on a bigger Kendall Harris, 6'2", 205 fullback, and a mismatch, but Allen made the tackle.
Guidry, 3-step drop, well protected. Now he'll scramble out. Toss the ball to a safety valve and overthrown. Almost picked off. Chris Kelly breaking up that play. Nice play by the left inside linebacker. 1:31 left until halftime. Both squads operating with their full allotment of timeouts.
Now, Chris Kelly really is a guy who's got 2 interceptions. You see him dropping, making a good drop from his linebacker position. Sutton with the pressure, but just a good, and he just couldn't get those hands up. The pass intended for Taylor. But Kelly was an offensive end back in 1994. He moved to defense and really it fit him. He really done a good job and really fitting with the defense.
14-0, Neville over Hahnville. The flag comes out before the play can get underway. Ball is stopped. We'll read it. Neville Tigers trying to complete a 13-1 season. Their lone loss coming to Pine Bluff of Arkansas, who just recently won the 4A state championship there. Pine Bluff ranked number 22 in the latest USA Today national ranking poll. It's Neville's only loss. Neville ranked number 2 in the state. Along the way to the Superdome, they've beaten number 9.
All sides on the defense, 5-yard penalty.
Neville has beaten number 9 Airline, number 1 Catholic, and number 3 St. Augustine last week. They've had a difficult road to get here. You heard referee Enos Durbon. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Hahnville. Joseph with the carry. He's got running room inside the 30, down to the 26. Rolls Kendall Joseph, a pickup of 9. The chains will move.
And they pitch it back, excuse me, to Kendall Joseph, and he just makes things happen. This is not always it's a good deep pitch, but they just block the lanes for him and allow him to find and pick and as he goes and pick his spots, and he's a good runner, good vision, squares his shoulders, and he can kill you inside or outside.
Hahnville takes the timeout, so will we. 1:25 left until halftime. Guidry operating on 1st down. 3-step drop, tosses the ball to Brown, overthrown and incomplete. Hahnville trying to pick up some points, Renee, before they trot into the locker room at halftime, trailing 14-0. This current drive, 8 plays, 48 yards, 2:39 off the clock.
And the thing is that Guidry has aired it out, excuse me, more so this series than any other, and he's doing just what Neville wants him to do, but he's had a little more success than they planned on him having. And he's opening up, I think that passing game has opened up the running game just a little bit.
2nd and 10. Toss sweep, far hand side, Joseph. He's cracked at the 25 as a flag comes in. That'll stop the clock with 1:14 left until halftime, as the officials unwind things on the far side. That's a big play right there, because that's going to cost Neville 15 yards, a face mask call.
Yes, it will. And that's really, Neville is doing a decent job of pursuing and everything, and now they shoot themselves in the foot and add to Hahnville's yardage output with a 15-yard assessment.
On the defense, pass the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hahnville, all the way down to the Neville 13.
Now with just 74 ticks to go before halftime, Hahnville with the ball at the 13-yard line of Neville.
Hahnville burning a timeout with 1:14 left. That's their second. They'll have one left. As they talk strategy, we'll come back and check out the results. On 1st and 10 from the 13, fullback Kendall Harris straight ahead for a gain of 1, pulled down by Zant Sutton. So it'll be 2nd down and 9, Hahnville. Guidry wants the pass, looking in the end zone, tossing the ball to Harris down to the 8-yard line. He hit Harris's safety valve coming out of the backfield. A pickup on the play of 3 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
And a stop made by Antonio Sutton, who was playing that zone right there, waiting for Kendall Harris to make the stop, make the catch, and he made the stop on him. Stinson with a good tackle from his defensive back position.
Clock continuing to run, 15 seconds left in this half. Guidry, long count, drops, looks, flag on. Got in, but hold it for just a minute. There's a flag on the play. 3 seconds left until halftime. A 9-yard touchdown scamper for quarterback Waylon Guidry as the protection broke down. The pocket collapsed. He wisely ran out. Motion against Hahnville. Wow. Man almighty, that's a killer.
That really came at a very bad time. It takes away 6 points off the board with only 3 seconds left now. And I guess you could probably see Waylon Guidry lining up for a field goal attempt.
I would think you would need some positive points going into the halftime locker room.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
The Hahnville partisan faithful here do not like it. However, the Neville fans on the far sideline love it. The ball will be spotted at the 13. Hahnville will presumably take their last time out. They do right here with 3 seconds left until halftime. They want to talk about it. 14-0, Neville on top of Hahnville. Good shot of Eddie Robinson taking in this ball game, the storied longtime coach of the Grambling Tigers. And I tell you, I've always said, any player who's considering Grambling, how can you say no to Coach Rob? If that man says, come play for me at Grambling, how can you tell a legend no?
I'd probably tell him yes right now.
You're too old to play. 3rd and 10. Fumbled on the snap. Guidry will retreat and pick it up. He's being rushed out of the pocket, tossing the ball, incomplete, and that's the end of the half. Joseph was the intended receiver. Hahnville elected to go for it rather than kick what would seem to be automatic field goal from accurate Waylon Guidry, and instead the poor snap in the shotgun formation comes to an aborted play, and that ends the first half. Neville on top of Hahnville, 14-0. Our halftime festivities coming up next. Enjoy.
Band of Pride from Monroe, Louisiana. They are under the direction of band director Miles Scheckschneider. The drum major is Andrea Grant. They begin their show by playing for the 1995-1996 award-winning Fabulous Bingo Bells. They are under the direction of director and choreographer Karen McPherson. The captain is Sarah Pinky. The co-captains are Elizabeth Law and Jennifer McSwain. The lieutenants are Tamika Porter and Genia Reihart. They will perform a pom-pom and high kick routine to Eye of the Tiger. The band will conclude their show by paying a tribute to our great Lord by playing Salute to America. Ladies and gentlemen, the Neville High School halftime show.
Your attention, please.
Each year, the LHSAA has a Superdome Classic poster design contest. It is sponsored by Lundy Enterprises, your local New Orleans area Pizza Hut locations. The winner of this year's poster design contest is Mr. Trevor Lucas of Natchitoches Central High School. At midfield, he is being presented with a copy of his poster by Mr. Phil Rutledge of Lundy Enterprises. Mr. Gary Anderson will now present Trevor Lucas a check for $100 on behalf of the LHSAA. Mr. Gary Anderson, principal, Westlake High School, is presenting Lundy Enterprise a framed copy of the poster. And thank you, Larry Lundy and Lundy Enterprises, for your continued support of high school athletics in Louisiana and the Superdome Classic. At this time, the LHSAA would like to recognize the newest members of the LHSAA Hall of Fame. First, former coach from West Jefferson High School, Mr. Henry Crosby. Second, former coach and principal from Lake Charles Boston High School, Mr. William Palmer. And third, from Andrew Jackson High School in Chalmette, Miss Rose Scott. These are the latest inductees into the LHSAA Hall of Fame. The LHSAA would also like to recognize Mr. Alfonso Ellis, the LHSAA's #1 fan from Jonesville, Louisiana. Take a bow, Alphonse. At this time, we have a very special announcement to make. We have in attendance tonight the all-time winningest NCAA college coach in the history of the United States, Grambling head coach Eddie Robinson. That's 403 victories and counting. Once again, the LHSAA thanks Lundy Enterprise for their continued support of the poster.
Tigers on top of the Hahnville Tigers, 14-0 in this Class 5A championship game, coming to you from the Louisiana Superdome. I'm Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato. And Renee, it's been a series of missed opportunities for the Hahnville Tigers, and for the Neville Tigers, they've shown some offensive punch after a slow start offensively.
Yeah, Neville with 14 points. You think Hahnville would have put some points on the board. In the waning moments of the first half, they were not successful, so they blew their opportunity, but they will get some more chances here in the second half. But in the battle of statistics, total offense, Hahnville with only 93 yards, where Neville could muster 155, and first downs is pretty close, 7-6, and time of possession is pretty close as well. 11 minutes and 3 seconds for Neville, 12:57 for the Hahnville Tigers, but the battle on the scoreboard, Neville owns that, 14-0.
Hahnville will receive the ball to start off the second half. Squib kick taken at the 15 by Brown across the 20. He'll try to turn the corner at the 25. He'll finally get wrestled down at the 32. First and 10 for the Hahnville Tigers. And one stelling stat, Renee, is the rushing yardage. Last week, Hahnville rushing for 281 yards in their semifinal win against Natchitoches Central, and holding Natchitoches Central to only 118 yards on the ground. That's for the entire game. Neville has exceeded that pace from last week, 150 yards in the first game. Hahnville has only mustered 42 yards in the first half, over 240 yards below last week's output. First and 10 from the Hahnville 32. Joseph with the call. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and add one more. It'll be second down and 9.
Kendall Joseph didn't have a big first half. He's broken a couple of runs, but he's been kept pretty much in check from the Neville defense. He's averaging, he's having a pretty good season with 690 yards, averaging 7.3 yards per carry, far below this game his average.
Guidry wants to pass, tosses the ball, complete to Brown, then he drops it. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. And this is an important series for Hahnville. You talk about it all during halftime in the locker room. You want to come out, and if for nothing else, at least pick up some first downs and win the battle of the field position. You don't want to go 3 and out and punt from your own 30, which is what Hahnville will be forced to do if they do not pick up 9 yards right here.
Good shot at Scott Hildebrand, the headmaster at Hahnville Tiger football team.
From the shotgun, the snap is bobbled, picked up, tossed, complete, but well short of the first down.
That completed to Dominique Griffin, a sophomore wide receiver, but Hahnville's had some problems with that shotgun formation with the snap from Danforth to Guidry, and in fact the last play of the first half was bobbled, so they have had a little trouble with that shotgun formation.
Guidry to punt, clean snap, puts his foot to the ball, end over end kick, that'll bound at the 35. Conway will pick it up and advance it back up the field across the 40, and the Neville offense will trot back onto the field for their first second half possession for the Neville Tigers. Hahnville's possessions thus far this evening: punt, 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 interception, and that previous drive, punt.
Coach Hildebrand assesses the situation as Dyer.
Ball is complete on the screen pass. Brownton, his first reception of the day, up to the 49-yard line, and much made about Roderick Broughton, his size, his hands, and his moves, Renee.
Yeah, he's a little bit big right now, bigger than they want him. He'll probably play about 15 to 20 pounds less than he is right now. He's about 250, but he negotiates the 40 at this weight in 4.8. When he gets a little less, he can get down to a 4.5, 5.40. He's being looked at closely by LSU, Tulane, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, and Illinois, among others.
Pickup of 8, it'll be 2nd and 2. Handoff, Butler, nowhere to go. Stacked up. It'll be 3rd down in a long 1 or a short 2. Last week, the Neville Tigers in the red zone did not have a lot of success against St. Augustine. 4 times inside the AUG 15. They came away with 1 touchdown. A penalty killed 1 drive, a fumble, and an interception. Tonight, they're scoring a little bit better as they lead 14-0 and 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and short. Movement along the Hahnville line, and the flags will come out. And we'll read it from referee Enos Durban.
Encroachment right here. Premature movement from the purple jerseys, and they'll be assessed with a 5-yard step off.
On the defense,
Be a
5
first
yards.
down.
So 1st and 10 from the Hahnville 45-yard line. Route this time will be split out wide on the left-hand side at the top of your picture. That's Conway in motion. Handoff slanting through is Butler, dragging tacklers down to the 34-yard line. He'll be close to another first down, and he'll get it, a gain of 11 on the play. 13 carries, 135 yards for that young man, Adrian Butler.
It's 105 yards for a Butler, and he's got some powerful leg drive, a senior running back. He's getting the first down after the first hit. He just dragged the tacklers with him and picked up first down yardage, and it's now a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of Hahnville.
Leidenheimer with that carry. He'll hash out 1, maybe 2. We talked a little bit in the first half, Renee, about the Neville Tigers making the big switch. Coach Coates took over from the wing tee to the veer. Coach Coates called up two folks for help. J.T. Curtis from John Curtis, and also Coach Don Shaw's, I should say, from West Monroe. Good shot of Coach Coates right there. Talk about some of the finer points of the wing tee, the veer offense, which quarterback Dyer is executing right there. On a keeper play, he'll be close to the first down marker. Dyer executing that veer offense well tonight as it's keeping Hahnville on their toes. You probably can't go to two better coaches than the veer offensives that West Monroe and Curtis run to find out some of the finer points of veer offense.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Both those programs have been very successful employing that offense. There's Coach Scott Hildebrand trying to stop that veer offense right now. 6-yard pickup. It's 3rd and 1 for the Neville Tigers.
And up to Butler. He's got the first down. He'll crash down to the 23-yard line. Earl Williams finally making the stop. The chains will move.
You know, he's averaging 4.4 yards per carry coming into this game, and he's done a little better than that, done an outstanding job. So Adrian Butler has been the primary foot soldier for the Neville Tigers, and there's a happy fan right there, and glad to make the trip down here to New Orleans for the Superdome Classic.
Here's a wing tee look for Neville as the slot back will go in motion. Drop, pass in the flat, complete to Conway. He wrestled out of bounds at the 21 after a nominal gain. It's a wing tee look, but a veer running play, Renee, and that's some of the hybrid of the wing tee and the veer that Neville runs. It's an odd combination.
Yeah, they go to, they go to Miguel Conway quite often. That's his, they've gone to him 2 or 3 times this game, and he's such an outstanding performer and really plays with his heart and soul no matter where they play him, be it a wing back, wide receiver, quarterback, or defensive back. You see Dominic Brown making the tackle for a good gain for the Neville Tigers.
2nd and 8, Butler, big hole, gaping hole up the middle, dragging tacklers with him, down to the 10-yard line. Goes senior tailback, Adrian Butler. A 10-yard pickup. He'll be just outside of the 10. They can pick up another first down before they score, so it will not be 1st and goal.
Running behind a good open hole right here, and look, he cuts back against the grain. That's a mark of a good running back. After he gets to their hole in broken field, that's the mark of a good tailback, and Butler does make some good tackles and good open field running.
Protecting the ball there, too. Butler with the call again, inside the 5, down to the 4. You can see how he's grabbing onto that ball with 2 hands when contact's being made on the tough running on the inside. Quo making the stop, along with Williams.
16 carries for 124 yards, and he's yet to break the plane yet, but he's getting dangerously close inside the Hahnville 5-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 4 with 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd stanza.
Second and 3 from the Hahnville 4. Sant Sutton into the end zone. Touchdown, Neville. Sutton's 2nd touchdown of the evening. Sutton, a nice contrast to the running style of Adrian Butler, and he picks up his 2nd score of this Superdome Classic, and it's a 3-point Neville advantage, 3-touchdown Neville advantage with 5:49 left in the 3rd quarter, and Scott Hildebrand is trying to solve his offensive woes.
And this was the same play that was successful in the first half. Defensive end, Sant Sutton, who's renowned for his defensive prowess, gets a short yard, 4-yard touchdown scamper, just like he did in the first half.
Bond's extra point is up and good. 21-0 Neville on top of Hahnville. 21-0 Neville on top of Hahnville. And the Hahnville offense needs to get on track.
That last drive, 11 plays, 59 yards, consuming 5 minutes and 38 seconds off the clock. A 4-yard run by Sant Sutton. Extra point good. Neville up 21-0.
High bounding kick taken at the 22-yard line by Williams. It'll be dropped down immediately, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hahnville Tigers.
Good look right there at Boris Allen, a tiger in every sense of the word. He's one of the hardest hitters we mentioned, and he's left his trademark on a couple of Hahnville runners throughout the course of this evening. Good look at Coach right there. Coach Joe Coates did an outstanding job.
Strong side to the near side of the Hahnville formation. Guidry, pump fake, what's it all, looking for Brown, flag on the play. That may be defensive holding. We'll read it and see. The receiver held up. Derek Harris on the coverage. They'll untangle it.
Derek Harris on a one-on-one situation with Dominic Brown, and Derek Harris, a sophomore, he was not equal to the challenge. Dominic Brown, with that outstanding speed on the outside, it was beat him deep in. He grabbed his jersey, which will call for a pass interference.
That ball clearly overthrown, but the high school rules stating that you do
Interference on the defense. It's down.
You do not have to rule the ball catchable. We'll take another look at it. If the receiver's interfered with, it's not relevant if the ball is overthrown. So, 1st and 10 for Hahnville from their own 43. Guidry wanting to pass. Intercepted, coming back the other way. That's Allen down to the 32-yard line. He was trying for Joyce. Guidry unable to hit. Joyce threw it right to Boris Allen. An 11-yard return, and Neville's going to have an attempt to go up by 4 touchdowns here over Hahnville.
And Boris Allen he was not visible, really. Willie Guidry didn't see him. He was well hidden, and he steps right in front of the quarterback and the receiver and makes a nice return of 11 yards. And Boris Allen has done it, making stops, and now he does it with his feet, making an interception, picking an errant pass off from Waylon Guidry and returning it deep into Hahnville territory.
Butler with the carry down to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 1. Hahnville's second turnover. Last time Neville picked off a Hahnville interception, they were unable to do anything with it. They punted, trying to cash in here. They picked off Guidry for the second time of this ball game. Pass in the flat, complete to Roderick Brownton. Look at him go for the end zone and a touchdown. His second catch is a 30-yard touchdown reception. Brownton coming from quarterback Derek Dyer.
And Brownton with his 48th catch of the campaign, his 7th touchdown catch of the 1995 season, and that was a big catch for a touchdown, and now it puts up Neville by 27 points with the extra point upcoming. See, just a little flip pass, quick pitch right here to Brownton, and boy, at 250 pounds, he knows what to do with the ball.
And you saw immediately there, Adrian Butler put his hands up for a touchdown as soon as Brownton cut into the open field. 27-0 Neville over Hahnville. Looking at the replay of the touchdown reception, a catch and run of 30 yards.
That was that entire series was 2 plays, 53 seconds, 31 yards, and that final was a pass from Dyer to Brownton for the touchdown.
Brown coming back the other way. Drilled down at about the 42-yard line, and Hahnville will try to put it in play. 1st and 10. Well, Renee, Hahnville scored just about every way you can imagine as far as drives. They have scored on a 2-play drive, on a 1-play drive, on an 11-play drive, and on a 17-play drive to account for their 28-0 bulge here over Hahnville, with 4:20 still left in the 3rd quarter. This Class 5A state title game is quickly becoming a Neville party. 1st and 10, Hahnville. Guidry under pressure, tosses the ball, complete to Harris. He's across midfield, picking up 1st down yardage down to the 46.
And he gave TJ Trinity Howard a ride on his back en route to a first down catch and run. And as you see, good ball handling fake by Waylon Guidry and bringing it out to Kendall Harris, who shows some soft hands and scoots up the sidelines. He's hit by right there by Dennis Washington and aided in the tackle by TJ Howard.
Handoff to Joseph. Running out of the tailback spot, he'll pick up 2.
And everybody faked out that time. Kendall Joseph really has been has not had much running room, and I think the Neville Tiger defense has done an outstanding job preparing for this excellent running back. And handoff right here to Kendall Joseph, looking for a seam, and just stop right here. Boris Allen has been a really thorn in the side of Joseph throughout the entire evening.
Guidry, 3-step drop, tossing the ball too strong for his intended receiver, Brent Taylor. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Hahnville's lucky they didn't get assessed a penalty for premature movement. One of the wideouts moved just a hair before the ball was snapped, and the official didn't see fit to drop the flag, but they were lucky they didn't get assessed a 5-yard penalty. Coach Yates, I'll tell you what, Coach rather, really was campaigning for that penalty and didn't get his wish, but it's a 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Hahnville Tigers.
Triple receivers on the top. Guidry hit as he releases the ball. He's smothered, incomplete. Credit Antonio Stinson from his right outside linebacker spot, flying through to make the stop, and it'll be 4th down for Hahnville.
Watch Stinson right here coming from the outside. He was hidden from view, and Waylon Guidry couldn't see him. You know, Stinson is such a good athlete. He's actually one of the better running backs they have, but he's too valuable to use on offense. He's such a good player on defense. He's always around the ball, has a nose for the ball, positions himself to make the tackle on numerous occasions. He's a first-year starter, only a junior. Antonio Stinson, he'll be back for his senior year in '96.
4th down and 9, Hahnville will go for it, trailing by 4 touchdowns, 3:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Joseph in motion. Guidry gunning the ball for Joseph, in and out of his hands. He had 6, right at the 15. Stinson was on the coverage. He may have tipped the ball at the last moment, but Joseph had an opportunity to haul that one in. The ball will go over to downs, on downs to Neville.
And Waylon Guidry hit him right in stride, and Kendall Joseph may have taken his eye off the ball for a moment. Stinson with good coverage. He may have got a fingertip on that ball, and had he not done so, Kendall Joseph with a touchdown bound for the end zone, and now it's going to be a ball will go over on downs to the Neville Tigers.
1st and 10 from the Neville 44. Butler, not much running room on the inside. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Let's take another look at that near reception.
From the end zone shot, good blocking up front, good wall for Guidry, and I tell you, if he didn't knock it away, I think he impaired his vision and didn't allow Kendall Joseph to see the ball coming in, and maybe it impaired his vision, but that was a good defensive effort. And well, I tell you, he could really, Kendall Joseph could just kick himself right now.
Butler. No, check that. Dyer with the ball. Flag coming streaming in as Terrence Danzy was working downfield blocking. Dyer close to a 1st down marker. We'll read it. Nice play fake by Dyer. It appeared that Butler had the ball, but Dyer kept it all along on the quarterback keeper.
See Scott Hildebrand trying to figure out that Neville offense. Finds himself 28 points behind with 2:29 remaining here in the 3rd period. Another happy smiling face here at the Superdome Classic here in New Orleans. 5A championship game between the Neville Tigers and the Hahnville Tigers. 2 teams that worked very hard, and you have to have a little bit more than luck to get you here to the Superdome Classic, Gerald.
Well, Hahnville just playing outstanding.
On the offense, 15 yards.
Playoff ball, Renee. You know, starting off the season with a 19-0 loss to Moss Point, Mississippi. Salmon, the reigning 4A state champs, beating Hahnville 35-6 in week 4. Losing to Central Lafourche, finishing tied for district, but by instance of the loss, going to the playoffs, it's a second-place district team. A lot of people at 7-3 wrote off Hahnville. They made a heck of a playoff run to get here. Dyer wrapped up and dropped back at the 30-yard line. That's Hahnville's first sack of the evening, led on the play by number 77, James Cooper.
Only a junior, he gets a chance to shine here in the Superdome Classic. And I tell you, he was angling in, taking off on the snap of the ball, and a good play by the junior defensive lineman, Cooper.
So it'll be 3rd down and forever, which translates to 23 yards for the Neville Tigers. Dyer beneath center. Motion, Brownton. Handoff, Butler, big hole at the 40, making a cut. It's a foot race. He's got the first down and more to the 30, still running, bumped out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Chris Donald had the angle. If not for that, Butler would have been in the end zone for 6.
What a scamper by Adrian Butler, and Donald saved that touchdown for the Hahnville Tigers. He hit the hole and put on the afterburners. They say Butler is not very fast. He's running downhill from here on. After he gets through the hole, he heads for the sidelines. Good nose for the way to head. Good instincts, running instincts. And Butler with a 51-yard scamper down the sidelines puts the Neville Tigers knocking on the door of the 19-yard line of the Hahnville Tigers with plenty of time left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Leidenheimer with the carry. He'll struggle down to the 16. Butler 177 yards on this evening, Renee, and we still have a quarter plus to play here.
Well, he's done an outstanding job, and they say speed is not his forte, but he ran as fast as he had to run. And again, the mark of a good running back is when you get in the open field, you're running downhill, and that's exactly what he did.
Clock rolling, 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter, 28-0 Neville over Hahnville. Neville looking for more. Handoff, Leidenheimer, big hole, and he's motoring down inside the 10, down to the 6, carrying Chris Donald with him. Another first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the black and gold Neville Tigers.
Leidenheimer, only a sophomore, 6 feet, 200 pounds. He has 185 yards on the season. A big carry down in the red zone here for the Neville Tigers, and he's headed for the goal line had it not been for Donald to stop him at the 7-yard line. And now Neville, with clock ticking down in the waning moments of the 3rd period, with the ball 7-yard line, so 1st and goal from the Hahnville 7.
Well, Butler hasn't put it in the end zone, Renee, but he's certainly set up this squad to get him in the end zone. Timeout on the field. It's taken by Neville. They'd like to talk about it. We'll take it too. 28-0. The Neville Tigers dominating the Hahnville Tigers. And that's a good offense, Paul. Butler with the carry and into the end zone for the touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown scamper. Adrian Butler into the end zone.
Well, he finally breaks the plane of the end zone. He has 179 yards plus the 7, 186. What a great run he made just now, bouncing off potential tacklers. He would not be denied. Good faking there by Dyer as Butler really hustles into the end zone. The extra point upcoming. Neville with a 34-point advantage.
Bond's extra point is true. 35-0 Neville routing Hahnville. 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It's a replay of the Adrian Butler touchdown, a hard worker who's hashed out the most yards for the Neville offense today, and he finally hits pay dirt.
186, and that was a great block by Sance Sutton on the outside to enable him to get inside. Extra point good, 35-0 Neville over Hahnville.
The ensuing kickoff is returned by Hahnville by Williams. The Tigers will put it in play. 1st and 10.
7 plays, 56 yards, consuming 2 minutes and 49 seconds off the clock. They started at their own 44-yard line, and a 7-yard run by Butler. The final play of the drive. The extra point was successful, so with 21 ticks to go here in the 3rd quarter, Neville owns the lead 35-0 over Hahnville.
Handoff this time to Harris, who's breaking through. And he'll get up to the 33, where he's wrestled down. First play of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 7 Hahnville. Guidry gunning the ball, overthrown, almost intercepted by Neville. In and out of the hands of Rodney McNeil. Hahnville trying to muster some offense. Their 3 possessions this half, 3 and out, a Boris Allen interception, and they ran out of downs with 3:10 left in the third quarter.
Willie Guidry with a straight drop back, looking for a receiver. Overshoots him just a bit, ball tipped, and McNeil just couldn't come down with it. 6'3". Defensive back is quite a prospect, and we mentioned earlier, McNeese, the Cowboys are very hot on his trail.
3rd and 7. Motion, Taylor, left to right. Guidry drops, looks, being hurried, sacked. Back at the 28-yard line. Roy McDaniel, the right end, a senior. That's the 2nd Neville Tiger sack of tonight.
You know something about McDaniel, he's the smallest of the up front 4, only 6'1", 200 pounds, but he knows the offense is going to test it because of his counterpart on the outside, Zant Sutton. But just outstanding pursuit, would not give up, relentless right here, and McDaniel gets the sack on the blind side. He's a senior and did an outstanding job, a lot of heart and guts from Roy McDaniel.
4th and 14, Guidry punting the ball away. No one back deep for Neville. The ball will bite at the 40 and roll down to the 36. That's where the Neville Tigers will put it in play. A colorful hairdo. I wonder if that's permanent. If it washes out.
We can't tell if it's the front or the back.
Here's Coach Joe Coates, a 20-year assistant, longtime assistant under Charlie Brown, who coached 30 years at Neville. Coach Brown, 263 wins, 66 losses, and 6 ties. Coach Coates building on his own record, 3 years at the helm, 27-9. Only 3 coaches in the last 50 years in the history of Neville football. Lodenheimer with the carry, straight ahead. He'll gain 2. He's 2nd down and 8.
You know, the guy that's got a lot of attention for the Neville Tigers, he's played well on offense and defense, number 33, Zant Sutton. He's an all-district and perhaps an all-state performer. He's being looked at by a bevy of colleges as well. He reminds you of a guy named Will Johnson, who was an alumnus of Neville and recently been named the MVP in the Canadian Football League.
Handoff straight up on a wing T style play to Butler. Gain 2. Be 3rd down and long. So Rick Gailey, the head coach of the AAA St. James Wildcats, in the press box at halftime. He is, some would say, one of the fathers of the wing T in the Metro New Orleans area, setting up wing T offenses at Bonneville and Chalmette and successfully executing a wing T offense now at St. James. And another wing T offense held the previous rushing record. Rondell Mealy at Destrehan had the 5A rushing lead with 149 yards. The Superdome Classic record of rushing yardage in 5A is now held by Adrian Butler with 188 yards. So a new Superdome record for Adrian Butler in rushing yardage in Class 5A, 188 yards.
And a good look at Derek Dyer, a junior. Boy, I tell you, he's got some outstanding running skills. 4.5 speed. He can do a job with you with his arm or with his feet. And Dyer here with good faking, good handoff, and scoots the left side. He's a southpaw passer, picking up good yardage and close to a 1st down. It's going to be short by just a hair or so. It'll be 4th down, but it looks like the Tigers, are they going to go for it? With the 35-point cushion, I would feel very safe at this point. They could probably safely go for it, which they're going to do.
Why not? Try to hang on to it with 9:37 left in the game and burn a little more clock. That Hahnville Tiger dozed off a long time ago. Look at this. A pass to Brownton. He wasn't looking for the ball. A fake into the line on 4th and short. Brownton was open. Just didn't know where to expect the ball. And for the first time tonight, other than some early miscues with fumbles, the Neville offense misfires. Only the second incompletion of the evening, Renee, for Derek Dyer.
You see Dyer dropping back with that left-handed style, dropping back, and Brownton was not looking for the ball. He was covered by Dominic Brown. That's two players right there, 82 and 20, that will be playing on the next level next year at a major college. You can bet on that.
Quarterback keeper around the near side, and nice running by Waylon Guidry. So make it across the 35 down to the 34, rudely met by Rodney McNeil and Dennis Washington. 11-yard pickup. That's Guidry's longest scamper.
Defensive backs, the two best athletes, probably some people think, that's ever come through the Neville program, Washington and McNeil. And McNeil is, I tell you, he loves to come up and challenge those runners. Sometimes he gets himself in trouble by being a little too aggressive coming up the line of scrimmage.
Delay to Joseph on the far side, crashing inside the 30 down to the 29. Roy McDaniel making the stop right there. Neville Tigers, no stranger to the playoffs. They've been here 24 out of the last 25 years. The only year they missed, 93, going 4-6, Coach Coates' first season. But he's turned it around, as he is just 8 minutes and 35 seconds from Neville's 8th state championship, but Joe Coates first as a head coach.
And as Kendall Joseph bouncing around, trying to get some extra yardage, is now going to be a 2nd and 6 facing the Hahnville Tigers with just 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the 4th and final stanza.
3-step drop, tossing the ball complete to Brown. The 25, he's driven backwards. Now he pops out. We'll get back some of the original yardage he lost. Rodney McNeil on the stop. They'll be short of a first down.
That pursuit is relentless. In fact, Dominic Brown shook off 3 would-be tacklers, but the problem is the pursuit caught him. You see right here is Waylon Guidry with a 3-step drop hitting Dominic Brown. He's going to be hit right here, by a couple of more right here, but he bounces out of the last tackle by Derek Harris and continues down the field before Rodney McNeil puts the final stop on Dominic Brown. And now it's going to be a 3rd and 3 for the Hahnville Tigers.
Double wideouts on the near side. Strength of the formation to the left. Guidry wanting the pass, ball knocked, tipped at the line of scrimmage, intercepted. Coming back the other way is Chris Kelly. The ball came right to him, deflected at the line. One of the big linemen getting his paw up. 3rd interception of the evening for Waylon Guidry, who has had less than a stellar performance in his debut game here at the Superdome.
He drops right back, but as you mentioned, someone puts a big, and that was Zant Sutton, the outside linebacker defensive end, and Kelly comes down with it. The 6'3" senior, Kelly, scoots up the field, having been an offensive end in the past. He knows what to do when he gets his hands on the ball, and it's Neville's ball with 7 minutes and 7 seconds remaining to go in the 4th quarter.
New quarterback for the Neville Tigers. It is Will Ballard, the junior. He'll keep it on his first run, and he'll enter into the classic record books as having an official carry. However, it is a loss of 1 yard. Ballard, a 5'11", 175-pound junior. A good look at Derek Dyer's backup. Dyer, an outstanding game, an outstanding player. Dyer, the 2nd consecutive 1,000-yard passer for Neville, and that's a big stat because last year his brother Damian, the first 1,000-yard passer in the history of Neville football. He's now enrolled over at Northeastern. Of course, Renee, as you mentioned, Dad Scotty played quarterback back in the 70s. Fumble on the play, the ball bounding free at about the 36-yard line, and Hahnville recovers it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
I think Jay Harris with an opportunity coughed it up, and Donod comes up with it. Chris Donod for the Hahnville Tigers. And there's some unhappy faces in that crowd, but Ballard hands the ball off, and Jay Harris couldn't find the handle, and Hahnville recovers in Hahnville territory at the 30, right outside the 35-yard line. And that's the third fumble for the Neville Tigers. 6 minutes to go here, and Hahnville hoping to get on the scoreboard and maybe make this into some type of contest.
Guidry, play action pass, looking, tossing, complete, down to the 19-yard line. Pick up a first down yardage on the play. Dominic Griffin, the split end, coming down with the ball. They'll actually spot it up closer to the 20. At the 21 as they remark the spot where he went out of bounds.
Well, you know, the Hahnville Tigers are known to be a rushing team, and they've changed the complexion a little bit, primarily because of the lack of success they've had running the ball against Neville. So they've gone to the air, and Waylon Guidry's had some success, but they've changed their game plan just a wee bit what they wanted to do in this contest.
Toss sweep near side. Joseph trying to pick his blocks off of Harris. Will spin down to the 18, checked at the 15 before Zant Sutton comes up and makes the stop. And I tell you, I'm sure the voting for the MVP, it'll rightly go to Adrian Butler, but Zant Sutton has had a whale of a ball game, Renee. He's just been everywhere, it seems.
Both sides of the ball, and you see Sutton right here with his 4.8 speed pursuing from the backside here and bringing Joseph down, and that's no easy task as he stays in pursuit. He just refuses to stay blocked, and he strings everything out. Did a great job just then.
2nd and 5. Harris will try the left side. Pick up a block from his wide receivers down the field and turn the corner and pick up first down yardage. So get down inside the 10-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal for Hahnville with 4:43 left in the contest. Neville owning a 35-0 lead over the Hahnville Tigers.
Kendall Harris with the quick pitch outside. Good blocking downfield. He chooses to take it a little bit wider. Tries to hit the crease, but his progress is impeded by Antonio Stinson, who puts the brakes on him inside the 10-yard line. Talked about Zant Sutton. He's being highly recruited as well. LSU, Tulane, Notre Dame, Miami, Florida State, and Texas A&M are very interested in the 6'1", 240-pound senior.
Harris shaken up on that play while they're attending to him. We'll take this timeout. Field, and he's been a nice compliment this season, Renee, to Kendall Joseph. Kendall Harris, 141 carries, 813 yards, and 13 touchdowns coming into this ball game. Last week, a touchdown in 95 yards, and their victory against Natchitoches Central. He's popping up on his feet, and he'll walk gingerly to the near sidelines. 35-0. Neville on top of Hahnville. 4:33 left in the contest, and Neville last week beating, in my opinion, a very good St. Augustine team that had what you need to win in prep football: a strong defensive line and great skill position players. St. Aug had that. Neville shut them down in a close match, and they're exercising their muscle against Hahnville this evening. Guidry, toss sweep to Joseph on the near side. He's dragging tacklers with him. Down to the 2-yard line goes Kendall Joseph. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 as Hahnville is trying to break the goose egg on the scoreboard. Boris Allen making the stop.
And it's a motivation to Neville to keep that 0 up on the scoreboard. A shutout in a game of this magnitude would be really a tremendous effort on the part of the Neville Tigers, but you got some potent offense right here with Kendall Joseph breaking tackles. He breaks a tackle from Sutton right here, and 2 or 3 Tigers have shots at him before he goes down to the 3-yard line.
13 carries, 45 yards on the evening. Joseph again struggling forward, just shy of the end zone. He didn't need much, and he didn't get much. So it'll be 3rd and goal. And I'm sure Hahnville in 4-down territory, Renee. Well, with this victory, the Neville Tigers will move to 13-1 and their first state title since 1984. although they've been in the Dome 3 of the last 5 years. Joseph with the carry, pushing towards the end zone. Touchdown, Hahnville. On second effort, Kendall Joseph got there. And the Hahnville Tigers have dented the scoreboard, much to the delight of the fans who have supported the Tigers to the end.
And Kendall Joseph with 15 totes, 47 yards, and his touchdown right there. Just a power running right here, giving off to Joseph, running behind, squaring his shoulders, running behind his interior lineman and his blocking backs, and surges into the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point by Guidry is forthcoming.
Clean snap, good hold, good kick as well. 35-7, 2:57 left in this 5A contest. It's all the roar of the Neville Tigers. Here's a good replay from the end zone, Renee, as you can see the power of the offensive line.
You see the shoulder pads collide there as the offensive linemen surge together and blend together. 6 plays, 36 yards. The final run, a 3-yard run by Kendall Joseph. Extra point was good. 3 minutes, 18 seconds off the clock, and Hahnville finally gets on the scoreboard, 35-7, but just under 3 minutes to go, and you can expect a onside kick from Waylon Guidry.
That's what she'll get, is everyone stacked up high on the left-hand side, the top of your screen. 2:57 left in the game. Guidry's ready to go. Kick that'll bite it right at midfield and bounce up. Loose ball. Brownton could not come down with it. It looks like Hahnville has recovered, and they have. Damian Joseph coming up with that loose ball, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Damian Joseph, only a sophomore, but you got some good hands people right in front, and this is an art to put together a good onside kick. The ball bounced through one of the Neville Tigers and right to the hands of Joseph, and now the Hahnville Tigers have the ball at the Neville 40-yard line with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the final quarter.
First and 10 for the Hahnville Tigers. Guidry looking for more. Tossing the ball to Brown, complete at the 20, down to the 15. And finally, Hust out of bounds right there. Dennis Washington on defense, and you saw at the end of that play the respect those two have for one another. As Washington congratulating Brown on a good catch, a 25 hookup between Guidry and Brown.
You see he beat Trinity Howard on a play right here, and Dennis Washington is the one that scraped back and picked up and saved a touchdown from Dominic Brown.
1st and 10 from the 15. Guidry looks to throw and does, in and out of the hands of Brent Taylor. Incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Tough catch there for Taylor as he caught him on a crossing pattern, and Waylon Guidry just stretched it out just a little bit too much. Incomplete, stops the clock with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go, and Hahnville desperately trying to get back on the scoreboard and get back into this game.
35-7 Neville. It's been all Tigers of the Neville variety. Double wideouts at the top of the screen. Guidry wants the pass, 3-step drop, tossing the ball in and out of the hands of Brown. Incomplete, it'll be 3rd and 10.
Waylon Guidry's thinking, what can I do? But some of those are tough catches to make, and he doesn't have much time as he's getting constant pressure from the Neville up front. The big push up front for the front four of the Neville Tigers. Good look at Coach Hildebrand and his coaching staff.
What a bright future that young coach has in his first year, bringing his team to the state finals. 5 years a defensive coordinator of Jesuit High School here in New Orleans, and his first year as a head coach, he takes a trip to the Dome. Guidry airing the ball out for Joseph, incomplete. It'll be 4th and 10. I can think of many coaches who have coached a lifetime, 30 years, haven't brought a team to the state finals. Take Tony Reginelli, just retiring from AA Newman here in New Orleans. This squad never making the state finals. Scott Hildebrand making it in his first year.
I'm sure he hopes it won't be another 30 years before he comes back.
I don't think it will.
He's got a great staff here that will keep the success going right here.
4th and 10. Tossing the ball to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Joseph, broken up, and Neville will take over on downs with 2:13 left in the contest, with the Tigers of Monroe owning and the fine production it is with the video that you've witnessed tonight and the audio portion along with it. Tell a great story of this Class 5A state championship game that Neville will take home back to Monroe.
Will Bellari is the quarterback. He's a junior. He's got one pass to his credit for the 95 season, no completions, 34 yards rushing, but he does have a touchdown, and he's getting an opportunity to play in the 5A state championship game with his team and teammates likely to be the victor in just 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Neville holding a commanding 35-7 lead.
Dyer coming back in at quarterback. He'll give the ball to Butler. He's got a gaping hole across the 15. Adrian Butler, your new Gatorade Superdome Classic 5A rushing leader for this contest.
Boy, what a student athlete he is. We talked about his grade point average of 3.4. He's got a 20 on the ACT. 195 yards rushing, and he's destined to go to an Ivy League school. Dartmouth is one of the many schools he's considering.
He'll close closer to that 200-yard plateau with a gain right there up to the 20-yard line. Pick up, that'll take him to 199 now. Clock ticking inside of 90 seconds. Well, the last time the Neville Tigers have been in this dome stadium, it's been frustration. An overtime loss to Karen Crow in 92, and a missed extra point. An overtime loss to Thibodeau in 91. But tonight, there will be no overtime, and it'll be a Monroe Neville Tiger victory. As Butler hashes forward again and breaks the 200-yard plateau with that carry. We're inside of 1 minute left in this contest.
25 carries for Butler, 200 yards. So I'll tell you what, that's 8 yards per tote, and he's on his course, or he averages about 25 yards each game. So what an outstanding game he's had, and really had some tough yards. They were not long runs. He had to break quite a few tackles in most of the carries he had.
Butler again. Running forward up to the 29. Jimbo Roberts making the stop inside of 30 seconds. We're at 27. As the celebration begins on the far sideline, Coach Coates wants a timeout. And Neville will spend the timeout as the players and fans begin to congratulate themselves on victory number 13, which will be a very special victory, a state championship victory. Entering the playoffs 24 of the last 25 years, an outstanding tradition for the Neville Tigers. Joe Coates beginning his own Neville tradition, winning his first state championship in his third year as a head coach of these Neville Tigers. And I would say, Renee, the veer offense, the switch from the wing tee to the veer, is a success.
It's here to stay. You can bet on that at Neville Tigers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They'll be back with a lot of the same players. Dyer, the quarterback, will be back next year. Butler will move on, but you have Smith coming back, Lodenheimer, along with Enzio Stinson, and Jay Harris will move on as well as senior. But you have the core of that running back, or that backfield coming back. You also have you have a junior, Michael Middleton, coming back, and Brownton moves on to the fine tight end. But you have a few linemen coming in, so this team may be back in the Superdome next year.
Ballard keeps the ball on, which may be the last play of this game as the clock ticks inside 20 seconds. Butler, 26 carries, 206 yards, and he's resting on the bench comfortably with 7 seconds left. State title number 8 for the Neville Tigers. Mark it in the record books. 1955, 59, 61, 62, 72, 83, and 84. And Coach Joe Coates taking it home in 1995. Your 5A state champs, the Neville Tigers, over the Hahnville Tigers. 35-7 the final count. Celebration down on the field as Coach Coates is carried by his players to beach Coach Scott Hildebrand at the middle of the field, and the two head coaches are shaking. Two coaches close in tenure in their head coaching time, but not close in tenure to their overall coaching experience. The Neville Tigers just too much tonight for the Hahnville Tigers. Neville doing it in every way they needed to do it tonight. They did it with short drives. They did it with long drives. They did it after turnovers. They did it at times of the game where they needed to move quickly. They ate up clock when they needed to eat up clock. Simply put, an outstanding victory for the Neville Tigers. And Adrian Butler, the gas that fueled the Neville Tiger engine tonight.
We haven't heard that before. Yeah, he did a great job. Over 200 yards and 8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, and he set up his teammates for a lot of touchdowns. Sutton played great on both sides of the ball, and the Hahnville Tigers did an outstanding job getting here to the Superdome, and I tell you, this was no easy task. Repeating here as participants in the Superdome Classic again, Coach Hildebrand really deserves a tip of the hat for the great job he did stepping in for Coach Barbier and getting these Hahnville Tigers back to the Superdome for the finals of 5A. Good look at Coach Scott Hildebrand right there. Former linebacker and now head coach of the Hahnville Tigers.
Well, this is what the Neville fans have waited for, the presentation of tonight's most valuable player and state championship trophy. Nice look at the big state championship trophy.
Lundy Enterprises and the Pizza Huts of New Orleans for sponsoring the 1995 poster contest. LHSAA thanks Button, the official game ball. At midfield, representing State Farm agent from Monroe, Broad Kennedy, State Farm agent from Ruston, Gerald Long, State Farm agent from Booty, Manny Dugas, and State Farm agent Renee Remkes from Booty. The first award is the Hahnville Outstanding Player Award, sponsored by State Farm, presented by State Farm agent Renee Remkes, goes to number 2, Kendall Joseph. The next award is the 1995 Class 5A State Farm State Runner-Up Team Trophy, presented by State Farm agent Manny Dugas of Booty to Hahnville High School. Head coach Scott Hildebrand, principal Bobby Stevenson. The next award is the 1995 Biden Official Game Ball, presented by Mr. Al Montgomery, principal of Grace King High School and the 5A class representative on the LHSAA Executive Committee goes to Neville head coach Joe Coates. The next award is the State Farm Outstanding Player to Neville High School, presented by State Farm agent Gerald Long of Ruston, goes to number 30, Adrian Butler. The next award, presented by State Farm agent Broad Kennedy of Monroe, is the State Farm 1995 Class 5A State Championship Trophy, Neville High School. Insurance and its Louisiana agents for sponsoring the 1995 State Football Championship trophies and awards and all state championship awards in the 23 sports of the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. Thanks again to Lundy Enterprises and Pizza Hut, to Baden, the official game ball, to the Louisiana Coca-Cola bottlers for their support of high school athletics, and to Sports Care of Louisiana for providing trainers and the Sports Care 1995 Coaches Awards. Good night, have a safe trip home, and happy holidays.
Well, the T-shirt says it, 1995 state champs. The Neville Tigers are it, Renee, and it was a convincing victory for them. They led 14-0 at halftime, extended that lead in the second half, outscoring Hahnville 21-7 down the stretch.
Well, they really did, and they did it in convincing fashion. And there's no doubt who the best team in 5A is for this year, 1995, the Neville Tigers, and Adrian Butler with an outstanding performance from his running back position. 206
yards on the ground, rightly so, winning the most valuable player award of this Class 5A state championship game here at the Dome. An outstanding effort for that back, and you'll get a look at one of the Neville touchdowns right here. This is quarterback Dyer, and outstanding blocking downfield helped spring him on this play, and this was one of the big plays for the Neville offense today. There were many of them.
And yeah, Dyer does it with his feet. He carried the ball with his 4.5 speed into the end zone, and that was a really big run, big touchdown. It may have broken the spirit of the Hahnville Tigers at that time, and Adrian Butler did the rest of the damage, and Neville just did it on offense and defense. Zan Sutton was another great performer, number 33 for the Neville Tigers, and they had all the weapons, and they were hitting on all cylinders tonight.
Coach Joe Coates starting a tradition of his own up in Monroe. Coach Scott Hildebrand, a fine start to a promising career in that youngster's future.
Yeah, he'll probably be back here again. He's got some weapons. He'll be back, and Kendall Joseph moves on from here, but Waylon Gidger, his quarterback, will be around again for another year, so look out for Coach Hildebrand and the Hahnville Tigers.
Well, the 5A state championship game is in the books, and it goes to the Neville Tigers from Monroe. 35-7 over the Hahnville Tigers. For Renee Nato, I'm Gerald Duhon saying so long, everybody.